This episode of Southeast Iowa Today is brought to you by Curator Auto Body of Washington, Iowa, using state-of-the-art techniques and decades of experience to get your car back on the road after an accident. Car Doctor of Washington, Iowa. No matter who Frankensteined it, they can fix it, clean it, and customize it. McDonald Boneyard of Keota, Iowa, for all your farm equipment and auto recycling needs. For great food, it's Your Choice. Your Choice Family Restaurant of Wayland, Iowa. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Come to our cruise-ins this summer on the second Tuesday of the month, June through September. Girling Repair of Winfield, Iowa. If your mower is dead, call Fred, your Husqvarna, Aaron's, and Gravely dealer. Fred also fixes and sells snowblowers. B&B Propane and the family of jet stops. CW Tree Trimming, LLC. We're into your trees, not your wallet. Serving all of Henry County and the surrounding area. We offer a senior citizen and veteran discount. Dutch Market and Coffee Talk of Washington, Iowa. Dutch Market can handle all of your grocery needs, and they even have a conference room that you can use for free. Coffee Talk's drive-thru is open and ready to serve you coffee, energy drinks, sandwiches, baked goods, and ice cream. They all present you the award-winning Southeast Iowa Today. Here's the author of Christie's Journey, The Beat Goes On, and your host, John Bain.
Thank you, announcer Cody Roy of NewEnglandDukes.com for your golden pipes and wonderful introduction. Back on Saturday, June 21st, it was the 115th annual Whoopie Days in Brighton, Iowa, and there was so much going on there, I couldn't capture it all. I mean, they had a parade, they had bands, they had a car show, they had all kinds of things. And the one thing that they also have, and they continue to have on select weekends, is a tour of a local service station museum. It used to be a Skelly station back in the 40s, in the 50s or 60s. It was a Shell station, and it is owned by Rodney Christner. And Rodney has just a bunch of cool, vintage, appropriate period memorabilia and actual tools and things in this service garage, and he was nice enough to take some time during Whoopie Days and give me this tour.
Rodney.
Yes.
Happy Whoopie Days.
Thank you.
This is a cool place here.
Yes, it is. It's a project that I have no idea what gave me the passion to do it.
We are in what was formerly a Skelly gas station in
Correct.
Brighton for from the 1940s?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. And then it was that way for several years?
Yeah, until sometime in the 60s, and then it switched over into a Shell station.
Okay.
I think that was until I want to say late 80s, and then it became a repair shop.
Gotcha.
And then it laid here and got dilapidated and got used by a few people, and the roof went bad, and so I had to redo the roof, and then the floors had articles on the floors, and it rotted the floors out, so I had to redo the floors. And so I tried to put everything back period correct to the day. I don't know why, but I did. My aunt in Olds, Iowa, put on Facebook at the time, or in a newspaper, I don't remember, I think it was Facebook, that they had flooring that they took out of their house. And so I called her, she's like, you can have it. So I put tongue and groove flooring in it, like it used to have in it. So that's kind of period. I just collect a whole bunch of things. People do bring me articles to put in here. I call it my museum of really cool shit.
And I agree. There's a lot of really cool shit in here. I don't know what else to say about it. And all these license plates, were those from different people, or did you get these?
I got these at various auctions, swap meets, went to swap meets in the 5-state area, just anything and everything. A few of them are actually very hard to find. Somewhere I have a Washington, D.C. plate. That's a really tough one.
Oh, I bet so.
We just find things here and there, and we go to auctions, we go to swap meets, we find them, we see what's neat. Like this here is a lunchbox and a hard hat.
Wow.
And I got this at an auction of the family, and that was the original hard hat and lunchbox that was used at the building of the dam of Lake Darling.
Oh, wow.
And then over here, this is the actual original telegraph system.
I'll be darned.
That was used between Washington and Brighton on the railroad that went north out of town.
That's incredible.
And so I try to find things. Somebody pointed this out earlier.
So drive-in movie?
Drive-in movie microphone on your window of your car.
Yeah.
I mean, I've not seen one for quite a few years on anybody's shelf.
No.
And so I try to grab things to keep the memorabilia so somebody doesn't throw it away.
Well, you walk through this front door here.
Right.
And you're coming into a time capsule.
Yes, absolutely. That's a Goodyear bicycle right there with Goodyear tires on it.
Man.
It's badged as Goodyear. Bought that from my cousin.
I mean, you know, if you're a Andy Griffith Show fan, right, you'd think Goober and Gomer would come walking through the garage right now.
Exactly. Then when was the last time you seen a counter check from a bank?
Wow.
You know, so I just collect little things. This was a foundry company in Washington that made ashtrays, but they made water valves.
You wouldn't want to drop that on your toe.
Oh, it's very heavy. Very heavy.
Wow.
And then I find silly things like this that they outlawed.
Oh, yeah.
Darts, I have 2 sets of these.
If you were a kid,
never been used.
If you were a kid in the 70s, that was a rite of
passage.
passage.
I played with them all the time.
Yeah.
Never got hurt.
No.
And so, yeah, just kind of collect things and just trying to keep them out of the people throwing them away. Yeah. And that's pretty tough. I had some kids in here earlier. If you look over here, it says, "Grandma, what is that?"
Oh, you're kidding me.
Never seen a rotary dialed phone.
Isn't that something?
And then I've got the older phone over here. It's actually a crank phone. And that came in after the one that used to be on the wall.
Okay.
You crank and
I'll
pick
be
up.
darned.
So people just have never seen a rotary dial phone.
That just tells you and me that we're getting old, aren't we?
Yep, exactly. So yeah, and then out here we've got the garage that they added on in 1950 or so. Wow. Because this wall here was the original wall of the station. You can see where it goes in the corner. And they added this on. Yeah. And then shortly after that, the guy at that time, he passed away in a fuel truck accident south of town. And and so then like this here, this is a pretty neat article. Guy brought this to me on a trailer.
What is that?
This is a safe.
Oh.
And it came from Rubio, Iowa. And this is the very first safe that they used at the Rubio Savings Bank.
Wow.
Look at the gearing on it. It's just so unreal how heavy duty it was. And it's heavy.
I say if Bonnie and Clyde were coming through, they couldn't even get that.
They'd have a hard time getting into it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Now, what car do we have sitting here?
That is a 1955 Dodge Coronet. It's the only year of Coronet that Dodge put out to where it had the shifter on the dash that did not have a park.
Really?
You had to set the e-brake.
I'll be darned.
I bought that at a farm auction. Motor was to be locked up. They sold it as scrap.
Huh.
The guy that had it ran into somebody at a party in 1974 and knocked this bumper stop off the car.
Oh.
In 1974, his dad kind of got on about it, so he parked it in the machine shed.
I'll be darned.
And I bought it for $400. I took it home and I squirted some gas down put a battery in it. It's still 6 volt. Squirted some gas down it and got it to fire. Started playing with it, put it in gear. On the back of these old cars, they had the brake drum that you set the e-brake with. That's how they stopped it, because the e-brakes were never on the rear end of a car. It was always on the transmission.
Gotcha.
Started tapping on it with a hammer and it freed up and started spinning, and then I went and drove it down the road. Only put like 100 miles on it. It was fun. It was good. It's nice to put it in here. I did some paint work to it. Covered up a couple scratches, and it's been in here ever since.
And it definitely fits the time of the station.
So then these are banners that I put up during our local Whoopee Day celebration. What these actually are is a lot of history.
Okay.
These are from the Civil War.
Really?
Yes. These were carried by the cavalrymen, and when they would get out to nightfall to take and put their horses away, they'd stick one up like this, and they'd cross the other one in here like this, and they'd screw them into the ground, and then after they got their little pen made, they ran ropes through the loops to hold their horses in at night.
I'll be darned. That is incredible.
Pretty neat little piece of history there.
Now, people, when you watch my podcast, not only is it educational and informational, it's entertaining too. This is incredible.
This here is an article that kids don't know what it is anymore. They can't do this because it'd be too hard to work.
Yeah.
It still works. I mow the grass out front sometimes with it.
My grandparents had one of those, and we were city kids. We grew up in Davenport, and we'd come down and visit them in Wayland, and they'd have that in their yard, and my dad said, well, that's their lawnmower, and we'd look at it.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, we're pushing it, and we're mowing their lawn, but we didn't want to push it for too long, I'll tell you that.
Yep.
Wow.
But now I find old tools and hang them up, stuff that people throw away. I don't know how many wood-handled shovels I have.
Wow.
A lot.
Even got some old boat motors hanging up over here.
Yep, got them, because I kind of incorporate Lake Darling in with it.
Yeah.
This is a neat piece of history for Washington, Iowa. So this, I have two of them. This is an old oil can, and every day workers in town would go down the alleys downtown, and they go out to their truck and they'd take the top off. Back then, trucks were just gravity fed.
Okay.
They'd fill these up and they'd throw them up on their shoulder. Can't do it with that one because of my arm. They throw them on their shoulder like this. And they'd take two of them and they'd walk down the stairs into every business in the alleys. And this would have their fuel oil in it and dump it inside the fuel oil tank down there 2 a day. And they just did it every day of the week.
Wow.
7 days a week. And so that's a cool piece of history that a lot of people don't realize. You know, the pipelines that we have nowadays,
right,
and the hoses that we have nowadays to supply people, they don't realize how easy it is compared to how hard it was. But back then, we didn't know any better because that's all the means that we had.
Right.
And people need to understand that, you know, everything's evolved for a reason.
Necessity is the mother of invention.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So now I just kind of collect a bunch of cans and things from here and there. And
this is a real treat to be able to see all of this. This is really incredible. And you open this up in Whoopie Days?
Whoopie Days on Saturday. Usually get, I don't know, 20, 25 visitors usually.
Oh, I bet.
So I got an old drill press over here.
Oh, wow.
Still works. This is how they used to have their table, and it's all adjustable, and you turn the crank, and it has a throw up here so it's easier to turn. It's got mechanical advance, so it keeps pushing down on it.
You know, and what we're seeing here in this building is the evolution of the blacksmith.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, if your town doesn't have something like this in the early 20th century.
Blacksmith tool that somebody made, old style crowbar to grab a hold of something and bend it around.
Yes.
A lot of old tools.
But if you didn't have a shop like this in your town, you didn't really have a town.
No, it's very true. Very true. Some tire stuff that was used many times. This still works. This is how they used to vulcanize an inner tube back in the day.
Okay.
You would take and get your tire fixed. They'd put the tube on there, put your patch on it, and they'd take this and screw it down and squeeze it, turn it on and warm it up, and it'd make that adhere to it.
Gotcha.
And that's the way. That's when somebody hears you say vulcanizing my tire. That's what they did.
And how many years did they up into the 20th century?
This was probably 70s? Still used up into the 60s.
60s. Okay.
Yeah. So the building next door to me, excuse me, was a storage building, and I got it back in 2008 as well. And in the back of it, there was a wood shelf, had a whole bunch of cluttered stuff on it. And cleaning it out, I found this box.
Wow.
People told me from history that there was nobody over here in this town until 1829, 1830. Well, I've always argued with them that they're wrong. But one reason after I got this back in, I think this was back in 10 is when I got this out. This is the original box covered with dust in a dry area of a building that should have gotten wet and gotten ruined. If you look up here, it says dry goods, 328 of 1811.
It sure does.
If you come down here, this is typewriter. Clark's Department Store, Brighton, Iowa. It was right across the street is where it was. And right here it has the date of 328, 1811.
Wow.
So, and people have told me there was nothing here in 1811. Well, I'm sorry, but there it is. And this box is from Chicago, Illinois, from a place that made corsets. And it says it up here, but it's just really hard. I try not to touch it because it messes it up.
So there may not have been anything here, but a lady could get a corset.
Right.
In 1811.
Right. Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Well, that is incredible.
Yeah. So it's just neat stuff that I try to protect from getting ruined, getting thrown away by people.
Right.
Well,
I mean, once it's thrown away, And I'm not trying to contribute to hoarders, but what I'm saying is, once it's thrown away, it's gone forever.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we don't see these kind of tools.
No, they're just gone.
Yeah.
I got jars and bottles and cans, and so this is kind of cool. A lot of people don't even know what this is. Back in the day when you had slate on your roofs.
Oh,
this is what cut the slate.
Okay.
It's wired together. This handle comes up. This opens up. You slide your slate into the right measurement.
I'll be darned.
Flip it off.
Yeah, I would never have
gone. They throw these away because we don't do slate anymore.
Right.
So,
yeah. If you want to remember and learn from history, you need to have examples of it.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. There's that crank. I wonder where that thing went. I needed that for my tractor the other day.
Oh.
But I tried to put stuff in here. I don't want to get lost.
And see, now you'll just have to watch this podcast when you don't remember where it is.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's, I found all these old jacks at junkyards and things. There's Model A jacks, Model T jacks.
Wow.
I've got things in boxes that I have not put away yet. It's a bottle capper when people used to refill their bottle pop. They put their cap in there and squeeze the top down on it by pushing that down.
I'll be darned.
Yeah, just all kinds of neat little things. And
it is.
So, what passion drives me to do it, I have no clue. Other than I just want to see the stuff saved.
Well, you're doing a great job of it, and it's presented in a way that really gets a guy's mind going. That's for sure.
People like to look at it. They really enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at my timer right now. You're not going to believe this. We're at 13 minutes and 56 seconds of podcast excellence. So
perfect.
I
enjoy it.
Well, I enjoyed having you on. Is there anything I should have asked you that I didn't that you want to share?
Not really. I mean, I don't really know what to do with all the stuff when I'm done with it. I don't really know. I suppose I'll have to do one of them deals to where I call somebody in and say, hey, we need to sell all this stuff online, because you're not going to sell it to anybody. You're going to have the passion to have it.
And maybe there'll be a museum somewhere that wants it. So.
So it's just one of those things. And
at the end of the day, we're all just here for a short time, and we're curators.
Exactly.
And
people don't realize how precious life really is.
Exactly.
And a day goes by way too fast.
Way too fast.
Do what you can do and live life the way you want to live it, because it's only here once.
You got it.
None of us are going to get out of here alive, so you might as well enjoy it while you can.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
What did you think of that Dodge Cornet? Wasn't that something else? And my, oh my, all of the things that Rodney has on display there in the service garage is incredible. Thank you again to Rodney Christner for this awesome tour. Thank you for watching, and do me a favor, make sure to give this episode a like and to follow and subscribe. It's free. I really appreciate you. It helps get all the platforms that different people in different places that you folks watch this podcast. It helps to get it moving and get it out there. The more likes and the more follows and all of that, the more the platforms will help promote it and get it out there for more folks to see. So I think that's a good thing. Thanks again for all of you for watching. Thank you to my sponsors, Griner Auto Body, Car Doctor, McDonald Boneyard, Your Choice Family Restaurant, Girling Repair, B&B Propane, and the family of Jet Stops, CW Tree Trimming LLC, Dutch Market, and Coffee Talk. I'm your host, John Bain. Stay friendly, Southeast Iowa.